Joe Biden. We know there's something wrong with his brain. We don't know what it is. It could be a number of things. There's just something wrong. It affects memory. It affects his cognitive abilities. So we're looking at him just in the beginning of this clip. He's got stress. He's got stress in his eyes. They're all squinted in. He's looking confused. His mouth is agape, stressed and confused.
I want you to meet Kristen Szymanski. She works for a family-owned chocolate manufacturing company in Dunmore. She's a Democrat. Kristen, welcome.
Good evening. My mother was diagnosed with multiple myeloma 2 years ago at the age of 66. The cost of her care has been astronomical. However, my family has been fortunate.
So you see him look over to his left, just briefly. Someone is helping him. I don't think it's a teleprompter. I do believe it's an earpiece. And he may actually have two of them in. Now, for this earpiece to work, for someone with the condition of whatever it is he has, it's got to be something that can read his body language and knows him intimately so that they can go, oh, he's struggling. Let me finish that sentence. It's also been practiced. And you are going to see moments of when that happens because Joe isn't that far gone. He's gone because he's always been kind of off.
That both she and my father had long careers at good companies that afforded them the opportunity to save for retirement, which is helping to pay for her care. Mr. Vice President, what is your plan to make health care affordable so Americans don't need to drain their savings when care is necessary?
So you see that breath come in. I'm about to give my answer. He has not really looked anywhere at this moment for listening. And he's not, when you look at someone and they're listening to something, they have to take their focus off of the person in front of them so that they can focus on the person that's in their ear. Now you can look above their head, to the side of them, on the other side of them, and it seems like they are still looking at that person. But we didn't see him switch. So we can say with some confidence that who's ever on the other end isn't speaking to him for this answer.
First of all, in the middle of this pandemic, what's the president doing? He's in federal court, trying to do away with the Affordable Care Act. 100 million people with pre-existing conditions like your mom would not have to pay more for their insurance under now. But guess what happens if in fact, he wins?
So now we're hearing the stuttering. And because they cut away, we can't actually see what's going on. Stuttering is a sign that there's a struggle going on to get the words out.
That's number one. Number two, what I would do is make sure that we reinstate the Affordable Care Act, number one, and add a public option to that Affordable Care Act so that nobody in the United States of America would go without being able to be covered for what they need. With regard to COVID, for example, I don't want to get too my son.
So here we go. I don't want to get too personal. He looks directly in the direction of wherever the help is coming from. And he changes subject. I don't want to get too personal. And then he goes into the personal story almost immediately as if, okay, I lost. My son
died of cancer.
And there we start the stop. My son died of cancer. They're right. This should be elder abuse. Not that Joe Biden is a saint, but this definitely should have consequences after this is all over to not do this to someone else.
Came home from Iraq, and I have to tell you, it really, really offended me when he volunteered to go there for a year, and he came home because of with stage 4 glioblastoma. And the president referred to guys like my son. He won the Bronze Star, the Conspicuous Service Medal.
So some of that is his memory. He won the bronze because he's not going over there. He's not pausing. We're not hearing that pause anymore. So the individual that's on the other end has jump-started this memory and going in this direction. No, tell him about this story and I'm going to jump-start it. Not necessarily using those words. And so as the brain is getting kicked into this direction, oh yeah, from Iraq, oh yeah, that kid. Like he's got so many, he can't remember which one it is. But that's the disease.
Referred to them as losers.
So when he first says losers, there's no emotion there. He keeps repeating it because he's in portrayal. Because again, he's not sitting in a corner drooling. He's not that far gone. He's a little off, but he's not that off.
Talk about losers. My point is this.
So they've riled him up talking about this story. He puts his hand in a fist, clenches, and he's holding tight mouth, And I'm going to assume at this point, someone is in his ear going, okay, stop. Calm down, Joe. Because if you've got somebody with whatever it is that's going on inside that head of his, it's very hard to get them to come down off an emotional outrage, which is the other reason why he's not that far gone, because they were able in his ear to talk him out of it quickly.
The idea that healthcare is debated as whether or not it's a right or a privilege, it's an absolute right. And so we have to make sure, particularly in the moment of COVID, that any costs relating to COVID are in fact free. The federal government guarantees be taken care of. One of the reasons why people aren't going in and getting tested is they're afraid of the bill they're going to receive. They're afraid of what's going to happen. And with your mom, it's a different, multiple myeloma is a difficult disease to care for. And that's why one of the things I've done,
When he says one of the things I've done, someone's speaking to him. And then he looks down, because remember, if you have to listen to someone, you cannot focus in on the person in front of you. You have to go inwards so you can hear the individual that's talking. And then he goes into, oh, I'm going on too much. And he switches gears.
Going on too much about cancer, I apologize. But one of the things that I strongly believe is we have to be in a position.
So I apologize. I'm going on too much about cancer. So he knows how to cover up his gaffes. Again, not a monkey in a corner. He knows how. Apparently, he just needs guidance. He knows this is a job. Now, whether he agrees that he needs help or not, I don't know. He's obviously accepting it. Someone's speaking to him, helping him get through.
Mr. Vice President, Bob Woodward asked President Trump about white privilege and whether or not he benefited from it. And the president said, no, I don't feel that way at all, and sort of mocked Bob Woodward. Do you see ways that you've benefited from white privilege?
Sure, I've benefited just because I don't have to go through what my black brothers and sisters have had to go through, number one. But number two, grow up here in Scranton. We're used to guys who look down their nose at us. We're looked at people who look at us and think that we're suckers.
So as he answers that question, you realize it's just Joe. There's no one speaking there. Again, he doesn't need that person in the ear constantly. They're there to get him on the path if he's strayed from it, to redirect him, to help him with whatever practiced speech he's forgotten, and to stop him from saying anything really dumb. It's not like Miss Clinton, who needed it to help counter facts. They're literally just trying to keep him on path. Now, I'm guessing that they definitely practiced this scenario behind closed doors, because somebody speaking in your ear and helping you stay on track isn't exactly easy. It also says that that individual has to know that person intimately in order to help them out. Knows their body language, knows their cues that sit there and say, oh, they're getting stressed, or, oh, they've forgotten something, or, oh, I know the words that'll calm him down, or, oh, that's going to trigger him. I think this was their test run to see how he would do in a debate. I don't think he's going to do well.
Episode 1 of Surviving Jail has been released, and this is a show where ordinary people are put into jail, and Mandy covers certain aspects of their interactions and body language that contribute to them having an okay time in jail versus a really hard time.
It seems like a good tough guy. You gotta handle him rough sometimes.
Yeah, that's what's up. Just gotta show him who's boss. And
If you'd like to learn more about analysing body language, there is a video course available on Mandy's website for Gold subscribers, where Mandy teaches more about her techniques of deception detection. There's also other content such as the Crime series and Interesting Minds series available to both Gold and Silver subscribers. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel on Library to watch even more free videos.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.